kenapa kamu tidak mencoba negara Malaysia? Nah, dia menjawab, kenapa? Ada apa dengan Malaysia? Kenapa saya harus ke Malaysia katanya? Emang ada apa di sana? Dia mengira bahwa Malaysia itu hanya gugusan dari pulau-pulau yang dihinggapi oleh banyak burung di sana ya guys ya. Itu pikiran dia di awal, namun setelah dia masuk, tidak ada bedanya antara Malaysia dan juga Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Berjumpa lagi bersama Indra SFN di sini. Halo guys, setiap saat saya selalu merasa bahagia, merasa senang karena kita dapat bertemu lagi pada kesempatan siang hari yang berbahagia ini. Nah, bagaimana puasanya guys? Saya selalu mendoakan semoga aktivitasnya dan juga ibadah puasanya diberikan kemudahan dan kelancaran, juga tubuhnya dalam keadaan sehat jasmani dan rohaninya. Amin amin ya robbal alamin. Baik guys, rupanya di sini ada satu cerita yang sangat mengejutkan dari turis asing asal Inggris. Nah, jadi diceritakan turis asing asal Inggris ini rupanya beragama Islam guys. Jadi entah mengapa dia kurang nyaman di negaranya, Inggris sana, karena memang dia lebih cenderung untuk memilih menetap di negara Islam, di negara Muslim mayoriti ya guys ya. Jadi di sini dia mencoba untuk mengembara ke berbagai negara Islam yang ada di dunia ini. Dia pernah ke mana-mana negara Islam seperti Uni Emirat Arab, seperti juga Turki ya, dan juga Mesir. Namun pada saat dia di Turki, dia juga belum merasakan ada chemistry untuk kehidupan nyaman di sana guys. Karena mungkin pemerintah yang liberal, dia kurang suka dengan hal itu. Namun di sana ada temannya yang merekomendasikan, kenapa kamu tidak mencoba negara Malaysia? Nah, dia menjawab, kenapa? Ada apa dengan Malaysia? Kenapa saya harus ke Malaysia katanya? Emang ada apa di sana? Lalu mungkin karena dia selama ini ya hanya mengetahui informasi terkait negara seperti Singapura, Uni Emirat Arab, negara-negara yang mungkin sudah dalam tanda kutip itu sudah maju ya guys ya, sudah maju. Mungkin dia hanya mengetahui informasi tentang negara-negara itu dan tidak sama sekali mengetahui tentang informasi negara Malaysia. Dan dia bertanya lagi, kenapa saya harus ke Malaysia? Ada apa di sana? Nah, setelah itu dia masuk lagi ke berbagai negara Islam lainnya. Akhirnya dia mencoba untuk memutuskan pergi juga ke negara Malaysia guys. Dan setibanya di Kuala Lumpur, begitu kagetnya dia di sana. Karena apa? Karena apa yang dia pikirkan selama ini itu sama sekali tidak sesuai dengan apa yang dia lihat, apa kenyataannya. Dan tentunya di sini dia memohon maaf atas praduga dia selama ini terkait dengan negara Malaysia. Nah, di sini kita lihat guys ya, bagaimana di awal dia mengatakan atau sedikit mensepelekan negara Malaysia atas dasar ketidaktahuan dia. Nah, di sini juga kita melihat bagaimana respon dia saat masuk negara Malaysia, dan dia melihat ya, kita akan juga melihat bagaimana respon dia saat di negara Malaysia. Bagaimana guys? Oke, sebelum kita lanjut, alangkah baiknya bagi Anda yang belum support, silahkan kalian dukung dulu channel ini dengan mengklik tombol subscribe agar tidak ketinggalan update video terbaru dari channel ini. Dan langsung saja guys, saya ingin mereaksi video yang menarik yang satu ini. Jom.
So many of you have asked why Malaysia? Why not Turkey, Egypt, Dubai, GCC, Saudi Arabia, all of those Muslim countries? Because that's ultimately what I was looking for, right? I was looking for a Muslim country. I'll tell you for why, okay? Because I purchased a place a long time ago in Turkey, and I love Turkey. I love the Turkish people. I think that it's a fantastic liberal place to live. Maybe a little bit too liberal for my liking, but also trying to transact, trying to do any form of business, I would be heavily reliant on somebody Turkish because English isn't a commonly spoken language. Equally, the living is different, you know, the 3-pin plugs. I know it sounds crazy, but it counts. It really does matter. Also, driving on the left-hand side of the road. Believe me, I tried it. I went up the wrong way many times, and it kind of loses your stability that you've gained over the years, right? So that was Turkey kind of ruled out because the Turkish mafia came in after Ukraine war and bought up a whole load of property, and the prices of housing went up. that kind of sold me out of that market. But I still think God was guiding me. Next step was Egypt. Didn't intend on visiting Egypt initially, but did. Loved it. Education center. Deen overload. The Muslims, the Egyptians, the personalities, it's just fantastic, you know. And then the Arabic language, I adore. All of that. And my aim was going to be to go and live in this country and educate myself and join in with those little congregations in the evening. And the weather was right, and then the cost of living was right for us, and the house prices were right for us. So all of that was in the right place. The one thing that was wrong was, unfortunately, the political unbalance. The systems are still too far behind. I needed something that was going to be able to keep up with the pace for what I wanted to do. Anyhow, somebody said to me, how about Malaysia? Me imagining Malaysia was some little island with parrots flying over my head. Said, forget it. I'm not going that far. It's too far from the UK. I'm going to look at the GCC.
Wait guys, bentar,
So I looked
kita
at the Gulf
pause.
countries.
Kita pause di sini. Nah, dia katakan ya guys ya, bahwa dia di awal membayangkan Malaysia itu hanyalah kumpulan pulau-pulau kecil dan juga penuh dengan burung-burung ya guys. Jadi dia tidak berpikir ada teknologi di sana, ada gedung-gedung di sana. Tidak berpikir seperti itu awalnya guys ya. Karena apa? Karena minimnya informasi dia dapat tentang Malaysia. Padahal informasi itu ada di mana-mana ya guys ya. Oke, kita lanjutkan lagi. Play.
Dubai particularly, because I'm in property and finance, and it makes sense. Everybody was saying how their market is popping like mad, and I should be a part of that. And I had my intentions, my plans to do that, and I was going to go to Dubai, find myself somewhere to live. Now, firstly, it's expensive, but there is also keeping up with the Joneses. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the person that drives around in, you know, you have to have a certain car to be in a certain clique. You have to live in a certain borough area to be part of the right crowd. Just all of that judging, and there's a lot of racial discrimination, let's face it. And I'm talking, I only know from personal experience. When my brother lived in Dubai, and I was hoping things had changed, but from putting out some posts on TikTok, I learned that it hasn't changed much at all. I was hoping that the next generation were going to be different, but it seems that the next generation, again through one of my TikTok posts, have potentially got worse. And it's not a pretty place, and everything that glitters isn't gold. And if you want some form of just real life, reality, I know all the influencers, they've all headed to Dubai because they have been there, done that, going on to rooftop hotels and having late entertainment, and yeah, it's all pretty blingy and all of that, but it's not real. And therefore, I ruled out Dubai. And other reasons that I've said on my TikToks, right? So along comes now this little island with parrots flying over my head. I decided to do a little bit of research, and I was shocked a bit when I saw monorails and skyscrapers and technology, artificial intelligence advances, connections with the Chinese and the Japanese and Singapore, where they are worlds ahead of that side. And I knew I had to go. So I made the journey, and I flew, 14 hours? Fortunately for me, Malaysian Airlines had pretty decent Wi-Fi, and so I entertained myself really well for the whole 14 hours. In fact, I napped for about 40 minutes, and that was about it. So I get to Malaysia, I'm in KL, and I'm astonished, I'm gobsmacked, my jaw is on the floor, I'm looking around and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? Not only is it beautiful, it is clean, it is on par with the likes of Dubai, yet the people are amazing.
Guys,
They are friendly, they
kita
are kind,
pause sini. Nah, ketika dia mulai masuk negara Malaysia yang awalnya dia ragu-ragu bagaimana sih Malaysia ini, dia memang sangat meragukan itu. Namun setelah dia masuk, dia melihat langsung dengan mata kepala sendiri. Wow, begini rupanya Malaysia dengan gedung-gedung pencakar langit, dengan kebersihan, teknologi, orang yang ramah, dan banyak lagi hal-hal positif dia rasakan di sana. Oke, ini baru tahap video sampai di situ. Kita lihat kelanjutannya bagaimana. Like,
non-discriminative. They're just chilled. Everyone's got this chilled mannerism to them. It's phenomenal. And you've got a great mix. You've got the Chinese, you've got the Malays, you've got the Indonesians, you've got Singapore, you've got Thailand, you've got everyone. And guess what? They're all nice to one another. Nobody judges anybody. And you could walk around wearing whatever the hell you want, as long as you were covered and you were modest and you looked, you know, in keeping, then nobody says anything. And to top it, the food's great. And an icing on the cake, the weather is phenomenal. It was like literally everything was ticking boxes straight away. The daylight hours, the temperature doesn't get soaring hot. This is it. This is 36 maybe. It's warm. Actually, no, it's hot. I lie. It is hot. But I could take a dip. I'll cool down. But I don't physically have the need to cool down right now. Anyway, I've just had a cup of tea. That's probably another reason why I'm hot. But I can still do that. I can have my coffee and I still feel fine. But it's beautiful here. You know, there's so many different... I'm in Penang at the moment. I went to KL. I went to Malacca. And now I'm in Penang. You know, there's so much to explore. If I had to do away with my passport and never leave this country ever again, I could quite easily do it. All I need to do now is work on family, because that's the other real reason a lot of people hold back, because of where they've established themselves. But I think that's probably another topic of conversation. Right now, it was a decision as to why.
Bahkan di ujung video ini dia mengatakan bahwa dia ingin membuang paspornya, ingin membakar paspornya. Itu istilahnya, guys. Kenapa? Karena dia ingin berlama-lama di negara Malaysia, ingin menikmati negara itu, dan kalau bisa memang hidup dan tinggal di negara itu selama-lamanya, guys. Yang mana awalnya dia berpikiran beda tentang Malaysia. Nah, kini bagaimana? Apa kejadiannya? Udah dapat dilihat ya, guys. Oke, kita akan lihat kelanjutan dari video ini. Apalagi yang akan dia katakan.
I chose Malaysia, not Egypt, not Turkey, not Dubai, definitely not Saudi Arabia, because they're still evolving countries. They've still got movement. This country, the systems, the driving, everything is a tick box. I have no negatives. The only negative I could say is in some places they have these open gutter systems, which probably mean I have to go a bit like every once in a while, but apart from that,
sampai dia terharu ya.
And do you know what? I can drink the water as well. I can drink their water. The water doesn't affect my belly. I've been here now for a few weeks. My stomach is absolutely fine. What does that tell you? There is hygiene here. I haven't been bitten. I got bitten once. I think it was last night on the beach. And I get bitten more in England than I do here. So that's another thing, isn't it? Mosquitoes. Why are there no mosquitoes? There's no dogs. Not that I dislike dogs, but I think there's a place for animals. And I don't see that many cats either. They've obviously got like a place to go. So yeah, I think that summarises my reasons. And then of course you've got this fantastic view. So another huge deciding factor of Malaysia over all of the other countries, Turkey, Egypt, the Gulf states, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, every single one of them. The exchange rate is generally £1 to about 5 or 6 dirhams, ringgits, rial. But what can you buy for your money? That's the biggest point. Now, when we went to Saudi Arabia, money was flowing. With ease, money was flowing. And you were conscious about what you were buying and what you were spending it on, because even though the exchange was £1 to about 5 rial, you were spending on level with the UK, which is worrying because people whose exchange rate is not as good, how were they surviving? You know, it was concerning. So that was that. That was your Saudis. Dubai, I expect exactly the same. You would pour money down the drain on everything in that country because they want you to spend. They have motive for you to be there. They want you to spend your money there. And as you have no other alternatives, no other options, that's where you're going to spend it. And there's not many locals. So if you think about Saudi, the locals there, they have access to a hell of a lot more facilities than a non-local. And the non-locals will have to earn and spend within that country. Same thing happens in Dubai. You earn, you spend. It's like the same rat race that you're stuck in the UK, except for you get to live in a warmer climate. And let's face it, superheat, who wants that? You end up staying in. You want moderate heat, 25 to 35 degrees. So, cost of living. Even Turkey and potentially Egypt as well now, because their inflation's just shot through the roof, right? Their cost of living is high. I've done Turkey. Turkey was on par with the UK as well. And Turkey is falling. It's all part of that, like, that corner of the world that has still got stuff going on, and there's no doubt interactions with one another because they're so close to each other, right? So why not shift to the other side of the world? Australia, New Zealand, or Malaysia. You've got Malaysia, you've got Indonesia, you've got Thailand. I don't know about Indonesia, I don't know about Thailand. I know that Singapore is great, that's all I keep hearing, but Singapore is expensive. But Malaysia's cost of living, you can live off of 3,000 ringgits, which is £500, and quite comfortably at that. I factored in a cleaner, I factored in a housekeeper. I'm talking not just a cleaner. She's going to do my cleaning, my cooking, my washing, you name it. Live in, give me a massage once a week. I'm expecting that for the money I pay. She's going to give me that. And then she's going to give me, what else? Then my food shopping, my schooling, my fuel, everything would be paid for within that £500. So this is an easier movement for people who are in the UK, where you could rent your house out and you could easily cover the rent of a 4-bedroom detached house, £500 in Malacca. That's what I'm paying at the moment. Plus £1,000, I'm away. The only thing then is a visa. So you get yourself a solicitor and the solicitor will find a way. I'm pretty sure of it. There's plenty of people living here, whether it's a work visa, whether it's a business visa, whether it's second home visa, whichever way that is possible. But try and step out of that mold that you're stuck in and make a move. Millions of people around the world, they do it. Why are we so hell-bent stuck in the UK? Try it. That's all I have to say. Living and cost of living.
Dan dari satu video yang baru saja saya saksikan ini guys, saya sudah dapat menyimpulkan satu hal terkait tentang apakah itu, bahwa di sini kita lihat banyaknya turis asing ya, terutama yang beragama Islam di Malaysia. Rupanya kebanyakan dari mereka itu sudah mensurvei negara-negara Islam lainnya. Tentunya mereka sudah masuk ke dalam itu, namun karena ada banyak berbagai kendala yang ada di dalamnya, seperti mata uangnya dan juga ketidakstabilan politiknya dan lain sebagainya, dan juga itu pendidikan serta kesehatannya. Mungkin ada kendala-kendala dari hal itu guys ya. Makanya ketika mereka masuk ke Malaysia itu menjadi solusi bagi mereka semua, dan akhirnya apa yang mereka dapatkan di Malaysia yaitu adalah sebuah kenyamanan. Dan ini rasanya tidak fair apabila dia tetap tinggal di negara seperti Uni Emirat Arab, seperti di Dubai tadi guys ya. Dia mengatakan di Dubai itu seperti apa, bahwa ada satu perbedaan untuk orang menunjukkan satu sisi kekayaannya di sana guys. Jadi kalau apabila kita orang di sekitar itu memiliki kendaraan yang mewah, maka kita harus juga memiliki kendaraan yang seharga sama dengan mereka gitu. Itu seperti ada diskriminasi sosial terhadap orang yang tinggal di sana guys. Nah itu tentu saja membuat tidak semua orang betah tinggal di sana. Terutama orang-orang mungkin yang betah di negara seperti itu adalah orang-orang seperti pengusaha besar yang memang memiliki dana yang cukup besar untuk kehidupan pribadinya ya guys ya. Namun kalau untuk orang mencari kepuasan hidup, kenikmatan hidup, terutama hidup secara religius, Dubai itu bukan tempat yang baik katanya guys ya. Namun akhirnya dia tetap menentukan pilihan ke negara Malaysia, yang mana tadi kita dengar bahwa awalnya dia mengira bahwa Malaysia itu hanya gugusan dari pulau-pulau yang dihinggapi oleh banyak burung di sana ya guys ya. Itu pikiran dia di awal, namun setelah dia masuk tidak ada bedanya antara Malaysia dan juga Dubai karena dia melihat suasana gedung pencakar langit, teknologi yang sudah maju ya, kebersihan yang selalu menjadi prioritas, keramah tamahan orang Malaysia, dan kemudahan akses untuk bepergian kemanapun. Ini membuat ia sangat betah dan lebih memilih negara Malaysia yang dia anggap sangat pas menurut hati nurani dia dan keluarganya ya guys ya. Nah, rupanya itulah yang dialami oleh turis-turis, terutama turis Muslim, Islam yang ada di negara Malaysia ya guys ya. Makanya titik terakhir mereka, pelabuhan mereka itu ada di negara Malaysia karena dasar kepuasan ya, kenikmatan, keindahan, kedamaian yang diberikan di sana. Maka itu mereka lebih cenderung memilih negara Malaysia atas dasar hal yang telah saya katakan tadi. Baik guys, demikian tadi video aku. Semoga video ini mendapat banyak pelajaran bagi kita ya guys ya, karena ini memang cerita dari turis asing yang selama ini tidak tahu tentang Malaysia, dan akhirnya setelah dia masuk, apa yang dia rasakan ya, bagaimana ekspresinya telah kita lihat tadi bersama ya guys ya. Dan aku mohon undur diri, mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan kata, kesalahan sikap aku kepada Anda semua, dan aku akhirnya wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.